And I know you've played with Ben Bywater for a while, and obviously, it's football. Guys get hurt, but what's it like having him be done for the year?
Yeah, he's a great player and a big part of our defense. So not having him sucks a lot, but it's like you said, it's football. We kind of have to do with what we got. So I think Harrison stepped in right. So we got a lot of faith and confidence in him, and confident he's gonna make plays and he's gonna be a good football player.
How big of a difference? I know Kalani wants to keep guys who get hurt involved. He wants them still leading and talking. How big in your mind is that for players to have that leadership, even if they can't be on the field?
I think it's really important because they're hurt and they can't play, but they're still part of this team, and they're still I've been playing with Ben for 3 years, and still a big part of this team, and having him there is still really good for the guys. So I think it's good to emphasize that, and what they're doing right there is a good thing.
Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, John, Kalani talked about the fact you guys need to get more pressure on the quarterback, but you did have two deflected balls, if I recall correctly, against TCU. Is that like almost the last resort? Like if you're not able to get to the quarterback, they're just teaching you to get your hands up. Like, what's the philosophy on the D line right now?
Yeah, obviously getting the pressure on the quarterback is a big deal. We stepped into a conference that's really got a bunch of good players, and TCU's got a really good team. And I mean, they obviously played for national championship last year, so getting pressure against that O line was tough. And you saw us drawing up blitzes and stuff. Anything we can do to get after it, but the mentality right now is we need to get more pressure on the quarterback. It doesn't matter how we can do it. Preferably just with the four guys on the D line, but that's something we got to step up in, and it's not going to be easy from here on out. So,
what's the mentality this week as you come back off that loss against TCU?
The mentality is doesn't matter who we're playing, doesn't matter where it's at, what time it is. We gotta bring it as a defense, and that's something that all of our assistant coaches are reiterating, and they do a good job of doing that. And Coach Hill, as the D coordinator, does a really good job of doing that. And at the end of the day, we're the players playing on the field, and we got to bring it. So the mentality is we're playing a home game. We got to learn from TCU, but we got a whole new game ahead of us.
We'll go back to Jared Lloyd.
John, Kalani talked about third downs, and obviously that was a challenge against TCU. They converted a lot of those. What needs to change as far as those third down performances?
I personally like to get more pressure on the quarterback myself. I just, as a defensive lineman, that's what you're going to do. I don't know a lot about coverages and whatnot or how they can do it, but what I'm going to say is, I got at least the D line's got to put pressure on the quarterback, especially me. That's something that we gotta get better at.
We'll take a couple more questions from Sean Walker and then Jay Drew.
Yeah, John, you touched on this a little bit, but I thought maybe I'd follow it up a little bit because Kalani mentioned earlier kind of the need for urgency with his team, how urgency's never really been higher than coming off of that loss and coming into homecoming. What is sort of the urgency level of this group, I guess, where it feels like things are kind of swirling with that loss and that sort of thing, and just sort of where is the team's kind of headspace, I guess, with that matter?
Yeah, I mean, you lose games in football, right? Going undefeated is a really hard thing to do, obviously, and winning every game is really hard. So, we lost the game, didn't go the way we thought it should have. We made some mistakes on all three phases of the game. But each game is a big game and a must-win game, right? So the mentality going into Texas Tech is, we got a good team coming into Provo. Regardless of what their record says, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if we're favored. Doesn't matter if they're favored. We got to bring it on offense, special teams, and defense for the whole 60 minutes.
Since you mentioned it's really hard to go undefeated like that, does this team feel a little bit better equipped to deal with kind of the week in, week out, even losses of a much difficult schedule than what you guys have faced over the past couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, after we lost to Kansas, no one was really burning the ships or anything, or no one was really freaking out. And I don't think the vibe over here is that all of a sudden we're just a bad team because we lost, right? We're still we're as good as we believe we are, and we're gonna continue to play as hard as we can from each game here on out.
John, Sean kind of asked the question I was going to, but do you feel like are you guys better equipped this year when adversity hits like it has than you were last year in October when the tough times hit? Do you feel like from the leadership standpoint and talent and all that you're more prepared this year?
We'll see. I think we are. I think we got really good leaders on offense and defense. The whole team. I think everyone understands the importance of each and every game, and no one's really taking it lightly. Nothing against last year's team. Those dudes were great, and I had a lot of leaders on that team and a lot of guys that left that put everything out in this program. But I think our mentality is, it doesn't matter who we're playing. We got a game on Saturday. We got to do as best we can to get ready for it and try and win that game.
All right, John, I think that's all the questions for today.
Yep, thanks so much.
Thank you for being here.
Yep.